My name is Tamia Arai, and I am one of the co-founders of the Chinatown Art Brigade. The Chinatown Art Brigade actually had a sort of organic beginning in the Laundromat Project. I met Betty Yu in 2012 when she was a resident artist in the Create Change program, and I was a fellow. It wasn't until 2 or 3 years later that Betty and I actually met together to form the Chinatown Art Brigade with Mansi Kong. Betty had an enormous amount of political organizing experience, and I am an older artist and I've done public art, but I really wanted to understand what it meant to do art with communities on a different level. I wanted to understand what socially engaged art was.
We're really asking artists to think of the work that they do as a way of organizing, and also to think about the process of the work that they do, right? So to move away from our work as an object or as an end goal, a piece, let's say, that you're just moving towards, but actually thinking about how it is that we create our work, and why it's really important that we are accountable to the communities that we reside in and work in when we're doing that.
I think we've always stated as part of the mission of the Chinatown Art Brigade that we wanted to understand how art and culture could advance social change. And I've come to realize that what we're asking is not that artists make political art, but that artists really look at what they do and who they are in the world, and see how they can embody that change. So our first project was a series of light projections we called Here to Stay, and we're encouraged to think of ways to develop this project. So the Here to Stay mapping project was an actual map that we created for the offices of CAV. It included a series of videos that were made of tenants, tenant organizers, and residents who were living in the community and had stories to tell about the places that they lived in and how they were fighting to stay in their homes.
So the way to interact with the stories, these placekeeping stories, which are all stories that highlight and feature places that either are no longer in existence, but are very meaningful to tenants and people in Chinatown, or are still going strong, like CAV at 55 Hester Street, an organization that is fighting against gentrification and displacement, working with tenants. This is the story about Wing On Wo. This is an old photo from 1921. So you can watch these stories all online.
And today we're here at the Coast to Coast Chinatowns convening here at the Urban Justice Center in Manhattan.
We've invited organizers from Chinatowns across North America, including Canada, to come to New York to talk about how we can build a coalition and a more radical movement to fight against displacement.
Do I have to press the red button?
Yes, red button.
1, 2, 3.
Every single person has the right to live in a safe home within a community that is supportive of them and that has resources. So we're not fighting for the preservation of facades, let's say, of buildings, or of the trappings, maybe, of our Chinatowns, but we're fighting for a place where people have affordable housing.
It's not about a few months that you spend in a neighborhood or how you fulfill, some kind of proposal that you've put forward and gotten some money for. It's really about being in a place for some time to really understand what the challenges are. One is me, two are we, together we are strong, together we are free.